Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today, I want to talk to you about the planet Saturn and the fact that Saturn is becoming visible. Not sure who you listen to, but the astrologers that I listen to, several of them talk about planets being invisible. And when a planet is invisible, it really changes the nature of that planet. And so planets go invisible and they become visible again. And it just really is something special. Well, for some of the planets, one of which is Saturn. Saturn goes invisible once a year. It gets close to the sun once a year. So I wanted to talk to you all about that in this video. And to kind of help you to understand how you can benefit from Saturn. I think a lot of planets people sleep on. You know, a lot of times people pay attention to the sun and moon, the great luminaries, and you are smart to do that. But, you know, there are other planets in the sky that we can benefit from. So, Mercury becoming visible, Saturn becoming visible. It went invisible at the end of December. And when a planet goes invisible, it becomes weaker. So basically, what ends up happening is the planet is so close to the sun that you can't see it. And it will, in essence, the way I've been taught, it's in council with the sun. And so it's like going into the underworld. And then once it starts getting, there's more distance between the planet and the sun, then the planet, you know, comes up out of the underworld. It becomes rebirth. And it, you know, when we go through a time where we feel like we've gone inward, like during winter, a winter season in our lives, and then we get rebirth, you have more energy and you feel ready to really apply yourself. You know, whenever I take time off from teaching dance and fitness, I come back just so charged up, energized, and inspired versus just constant teaching week after week after week, never taking a break, staying tired. I just don't have the same energy. So it's the same way with the planet. Now, when a planet is becoming invisible or visible, it's very, very strong. Its energy is very, very strong. And so a lot of times we may see something manifest from that planet. So I'm trying to think of other times. I can't think of any right now. I've been making videos, but just pay attention between now and about, I think my teacher said it'll be until about the 16th. It takes a little while for Saturn to become fully visible. You'll see it in the west in the morning, I think she said. And the teacher I'm referring to is Lada from Astrolada. But just pay attention to what's being birthed. Now, Saturn has to do with structure, bosses, elderly people. Um, it has to do with karma, be it good or bad, not necessarily negative, being sober and being a realist. It's the same energy as Sekert, if you know the Metanetter. Being sober, um, getting things done, you know, just having this incredible way. One thing that I know Lotta said too, and I love this, is streamlining things and simplifying things, because Capricorn is a sign that's about conservation. It's not trying to be spending, putting out. It contracts. And so streamlining, okay? And it's in Capricorn, its home sign, which has to do with all of those. The other thing that I would put on there with Capricorn is success. It's all about success. Boundaries, I would say it has to do with boundaries and just being willing to do what it takes. Patience, because Capricorn realizes it takes maturity, It takes patience and it takes being responsible to get what you want, right? So these are what it represents. And so when it went invisible, I actually don't remember. Oh, I do know what was going on. I was in the process of putting together the course that I did for Mastering 2020. I was ill and building this course at the same time and, letting people know about it. And it was like very hard work. It was a lot of hard work. It was very, very hard. But I just was able to feel like I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And the way I started the course, I immediately had to change it. So I could say that that was something that happened that was, I could relate to that Saturnian time with it going invisible. So with it coming visible, we can expect something like that to happen. Maybe when it was invisible, it's weaker. And so everything that it represents, it's harder to make it manifest in our lives, right? And so once it goes visible, we'll be able to see these things better manifest in our lives, whether we want them or not. Part of the reason I'm doing this video is because I'm like, sometimes, and I love Lada, but I was just feeling so frustrated with, Saturn gets such a bad rap. And so I was like, I got to make a video that's going to give me hope regarding Saturn. We all know Saturn don't play. All right. So if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I should not have any problems. If you're doing what you should supposed to do, you should not have any problems. Capricorns and Aquariuses, you have whenever your sign's planet is invisible, then you may feel tired and weak. Okay, so for Aquariuses and Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. They may have felt the weakest or like, God, things are not working in my favor, right? So your strength should come back and your ability to manifest should come back, Capricorn and Aquarius. Especially if you're that for the ascendant. But yeah, Sun or Moon too. Other things that I heard Lotta say that I was like, okay, let's see if this is really going to happen. So y'all test it out and let me know what you find out. Saturn becoming more visible, it'll be colder and people will be aching more. People who have arthritis may find that their arthritis is acting up. And when I thought about it, I was like, shoot, mine's been acting up with it being invisible. I was diagnosed with arthritis in my knees years ago, never really claimed it. But, the pain is there. It's like, I got to do something about it. And it's like it came back all of a sudden. I'm like, what's going on? Got my CBD, been slathering myself down with it, right? So let's see. Tell me if you're somebody who has achy bones. Maybe you had an injury and you broke a bone, like in one of my feet. I fractured my foot when I was a teenager. And sometimes it aches when it rains, or it's like weird times that it'll sort of ache. Let me know how is Saturn becoming visible? Actually, it's becoming visible today, tomorrow, February the 8th. What effect is that having on you? Are you feeling more achy or not? Because I'm like, Saturn's strong. I should feel it strongly. So we'll see. I am determined I'm going to understand astrology by living it. That's not to say what Lotta said is wrong. I'm just saying, I just got to test it for myself. Okay, let's see what else I want to tell you. She said it'll be colder. So we'll see. Is it going to be colder? Which I can believe it will be. Because Saturn is a cold planet. It's not about the heat. Okay. It's like, y'all better take that heat up out of, you know, Saturn is that person that you live with who's like, why you always got the heat on? That's who I live with. I live with a bunch of Saturnian types. My husband is like, I'm drinking something cold. That's why I have my hoodie on. I'm like, you want me to turn the heat up for you, baby? You look cold. You better not touch that heat. I'm simply just drinking something that's cold right now. I'm like, dang, I need to go put on a sweater. Yeah, Saturn is the one that mm, wants to be cold. So let's see if the weather changes, y'all. Let's test that out. The other thing is, you know, Lotta talked about Saturn coming back visible was going to make the government, more harsh. I'm like, I can't get no more harsh. Well, let me not say can't get no more harsh, but I'm like, I've not seen it ease up on being harsh and oppressive. I've just not seen it. I'm thinking when Saturn comes back, won't it, um, bring some law and order? But we'll see. We'll see. Um, so these are just things that you can be thinking about. For me, part of the reason I got into astrology is I needed explanations for why the world is looking the way it's looking. And astrology explains a lot. It explains a lot. So let's see here. For Aries, Saturn is going to become visible in your 10th house. So I just think that you're going to find more strength in your career. I think that you'll feel, more inclined to work hard. You'll feel more inclined to put structures in place in your business and more inclined to, like, if you are the boss, to be the boss. Um, And let's see here. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to do for Aries. And I think it'll make you accept more. Now, it could be you might feel like you're more burdened. But I just feel like when a planet is visible and in its own sign, it's giving us the best if we would but receive it. So even if you feel like your workload increases, Saturn is giving you the wherewithal to do it. I'm actually watching my son, and he's an Aries rising, and he has been complaining to me so much about just feeling like blah in school. And I'm like, it just hit me today when I listened to Lotta talking about Saturn becoming visible. Maybe not having a visible Saturn in his 10th house is what's like creating a lot of havoc for him. So I'm gonna watch and see if he feels like he's way more together with this, and instead of feeling burdened, like he already feels burdened. Every Aries feels burdened right now. Every Aries I know, visible or not, they feel burdened. It's just a lot on their plate. So I think Saturn becoming visible is going to make them feel like, okay, I got this. That's what I'm speaking into existence for you all. For Taurus, this is happening in your 9th house. And so for Taurus, I think that this will help you to solidify what you believe a little bit more. If you've wavered, if you've been questioning some things, Jupiter's there. And so we got Jupiter probably like unearthing our beliefs, making us look at, I'm saying we, because I have a Taurus moon, making us look at, this, do I believe this? What do I believe? Really? Do I believe that? So Saturn coming visible is going to make us more resolute, make us like, okay, this is what I believe. This is what I'm standing on. Also, it may make us want to, pursue learning something on a higher level, commit to it, get it done. If you've been working on it while, since the end of December, you may find that it manifests itself, okay? During this time of Saturn becoming visible again. And you may also solidify plans that are about foreign travel. Okay. Let's see here. Now for Gemini, I hope for the Geminis, excuse me, yeah, for the Geminis, that this brings you more stability when it comes to shared resources. Maybe there's some money you've been wanting to get and you haven't been able to acquire this money. Um, I hope that this is a time where you'll find you finally get the money, the shared resources fall into place for you. Now, this also has to do with taxes. So, it's during tax time, and this may just be energy that kind of helps you to be responsible when it comes to your taxes. And also, it has to do with healing. So maybe you're going to go on ahead and get that therapist or book that retreat to do some intensive healing. And also, I would wonder for Gemini, like, what has intimacy been like? Um, because with the Cancer, I know a Cancer was like, oh my God, I hope Saturn going into Aquarius is going to help me get my sex drive back. So I do wonder if Geminis have not had a sex drive with um, Saturn being in your eighth house of intimacy. Uh, that would be interesting if anybody wants to chime in. But yeah, so maybe it'll help to, um, yeah, Geminis may not feel super sexual right now. If you don't, I'm sorry, Gemini. Uh, come the end of March, uh, you may feel your sex drive come back from March to July. All right. Hope I just gave you some good news if you don't have a sex drive, but maybe you're going to be more open to um, having good boundaries. I'll put it that way. Maybe you haven't had good boundaries, and you're going to have better boundaries. So for Cancer, this is happening in your seventh house. And so I would think that it could bring maybe you're going to have more boundaries in your relationships. Um, and maybe it'll bring some strength, some stability in your relationship. Or maybe, you know, you really haven't been real with yourself and you're going to get real. Finally, you're going to get like for real, you're getting real with yourself about your partnerships. I would also hope that Saturn being in your seventh house is going to um, help you to win a court case, a legal affair, something like that. Mm, yeah, I have Saturn in my seventh house. And I think that it's brought longevity to my marriage. I think that Saturn in the seventh house can bring longevity to relationships, can bring relationships that have very good boundaries. Um, and yeah, just you don't worry too much when you have Saturn in the seventh house. You don't worry about your boo, your husband or your wife, your spouse, your significant other, long-term contracted one. You know, you just don't worry too much. I'm not trying to jinx myself, but that's just been my experience. It's not a bad thing, right? Um, but I would love to hear from y'all. What are your experiences with if you are a Cancer with Saturn in the seventh house regarding your relationships? May not just be love, it could be significant others also. Now, next is going to be Leo. This is happening in your sixth house. So, okay, now I know some Leos, and they have been saying that they have been overworked quite a bit. And so I want to know if Saturn coming visible in their sixth house is actually going to bring the ability to handle all the work that's coming to them. Um, for me, Saturn imbues this energy of, I got this, we're getting ready to do it. Let's do it. And it's like this drive to get it done. It feels so positive. You just love working. That's my experience with Saturn. I just love working. Actually, that's how I felt when Saturn was going invisible. I was like, I love working. This is what it's like to be a Capricorn. Oh my God, Capricorns. Wow. Until I overdid it. And that's when I was like, wow, Capricorn, y'all might need to take a break. So I just think Leo is going to be more like that. And also, if Leo's been struggling to be committed to their health and wellness routines, I think Leo will do a better job with Saturn becoming visible. And then next is Virgo, who I just sort of relate Virgo to uh, the Saturn energy. Virgo probably does sort of well with it. Um, but this is actually happening in your fifth house. And so, the fifth house has to do with romantic relationships. Something I didn't listen to the whole video, but I actually listened to Virgo because my son is a Virgo son. And so I wanted to see what she was gonna say. And I like that she talked about um, the you may date someone older. I actually had told him that. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Uh, but yeah, date someone who's older, more mature, mm, maybe, a little more advanced in some kind of way. And I think that also the fifth house has to do with children. So Saturn becoming visible would mean that I think we would be more serious about the work that we're doing with our children. Um, and that because Virgo is sort of like serious energy, so Virgo might actually be working and helping children in some kind of way. So just the ability to do the hard work to help children, but just really and truly, Virgo, you probably need to go take a break, like do a serious hobby or something. Get serious about having fun. Um, Next is gonna be yeah, I think Virgo, your creativity may get higher because it's the planet that has to do with Capricorn in your fifth house. And so, you know, it'll bring, and the fifth house has to do with creativity. And yeah, I think that'll help you out a lot. Libra, this is happening in your fourth house. And so the fourth house has to do with home, family, ancestors. And so, maybe you're gonna go on ahead and get serious about moving, get serious about some renovations that you want to make to your home, get serious about how your family is run. I know whenever I have transits to that fourth house, I'm like, y'all, we getting ready to get ourselves decent and in order up in here. We're going to get this place cleaned up. We're going to eat healthy, nutritious meals every day. Everybody's going to follow my rules. No, I'm kidding. They do say I'm a little bossy around here. I'm like, y'all, I'm the family cook. Everybody finna eat what I made. I get serious when that fourth house has energy in it. So the Libras may be more serious about that. I do know a couple of the Libras may not have children in the home. So I also wonder if you have not felt strong in your emotions, you'll feel stronger in your emotions because we got all these other planets there. Well, not all, but two more. So I just think it's bringing strength, emotional strength, and maybe standing on the shoulders of your ancestors a bit more. For Scorpio, this is happening in your third house. So the third house has to do with communication. And I can honestly say, for me, with Saturn being invisible, I sort of didn't feel super confident making videos. I had made so many videos for that Master 2020 that, and then of course I do weekly and monthly videos, like the videos I do on a regular basis, that I started thinking to myself, oh my gosh, have I run out of content? Like, what am I supposed to talk about? I have felt less confident in making videos. But when I sit down, it's been good. It's been good. But I have felt that way. So, just I think we'll feel more confident in our communication and just stronger, maybe have more structure. That's another thing. I've been way more structured with Saturn being visible, less structured in my presentations with it being invisible. Also, I think that the Scorpios will just be on fleek and on fire when it comes to business and learning. Um, and if you've had strained relationships with your siblings, maybe now will be a time where you're able to bring some strength. I just see Saturn as a planet of strength. It's not the same type of strength like Mars. It's more like that parent that you can count on. They are stable, stability. And so I just feel it's bringing stability in all ways to us. I just love the planet Saturn. So yeah, Scorpio. I think you'll be way more confident in that, and maybe that's the other thing. I've been struggling to walk because the third house has to do with walking. So maybe I'll start walking again. Sagittarius, this is in your second house. So I'm hoping for the Sagittarius out there that this brings that money that you've been looking for. It brings more stability to your personal finance. I remember telling one Sag, you just have to wait until February. Don't panic. Your second house is weakened because this planet is invisible. So it'll be interesting to hear, does money get better for Sagittarius and Geminis once Saturn becomes visible? And Sagittarius will be more inclined to save money. The other thing I think too is if you have struggled with your confidence, I think that you can find some stability. You can finally start feeling like, oh, okay, I know I can be confident in this way. You really, really mean it, right? I think also structure and discipline and hard work will bring you the confidence that you are, that you're amazing. Sag, come on. You know this, Sag. You know this. Sagittarius know they're awesome. So Capricorn, oh my God, this is happening in your first house. Yeah, like I said, Capricorns and Aquarius may have felt a little weakened. My main planet is Mars. I cannot stand it when Mars goes retrograde or invisible. I can't stand it. It affects me. Or if it's in a a sign that it's not good in, or my 12th house, I feel it. So Capricorn you're not crazy. All right. Even though most people are like, why are you complaining? Capricorn, I always complain. Capricorn, it's been rough. It's been rough. So your planet is coming visible. Your strength is going to come back. You're going to feel stronger than ever, Capricorn. Okay. Thinking of a couple of Capricorns in my life, and I'm hoping that's how it manifests for you. And so, if there's something about your body in particular, Capricorn, that you've been wanting to work on, you'll feel like you're going to make success with it. Okay. Same for Aquarius. Um, yeah, I've noticed the Aquariuses, they are feeling a little tired. So I think that Aquarius is, because it's happening in your 12th house, or Saturn is going to come visible in your 12th house, which has to do with sleep, and but it also has to do with the spiritual world. And so maybe you get more resolute about something regarding spirituality, and maybe you can get some good sleep and actually feel rested in the morning, Aquarius. But yeah, yours is sort of like Capricorn. you know you're not crazy. Yes, yes, yes. If you feel tired and feel sort of like not motivated, It wasn't you. It was your planet being invisible. So I'm really hoping for the best for the Aquariuses and the Capricorns out there. And last but not least, the Pisces, Capricorn in your, Saturn is going to become visible in your 11th house. And so you might find a new vibe tribe. Um, and I'm finding as a Pisces, there's a new vibe tribe that I'm a part of. It's like amazing. And also, this has to do with gains. So you actually may feel like something manifests for you, Pisces, something, you know, that you've been working on. You can actually see it's here. You did it. You've been feeling like, oh man, I'm trying to get to this place and I can't get there, but you will start feeling like I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay. So I'm excited for us. All with Saturn becoming visible. Saturn, who is like, I believe in you so much, and that's why I push you hard. If I didn't push you hard, you may not just do it. So yeah, I'm here. And I'm coming back, y'all. Y'all thought I was down, but I may have been down, but I wasn't out. That's what Saturn is saying to us. So I hope this video has been insightful. And let me know from the 8th through the 16th, does something like appear, something manifest? What is Saturn giving you? Be aware, okay? And then, as this time unfolds, how are you feeling? How are you different? How are you experiencing life, in these different ways that I talked about? Let us sister know. Capricorns and Aquariuses, chime in. How is this time for you? Are you feeling like, finally, I feel like myself? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I will see you in the next video. I really appreciate you. Please like, share, and yeah, come back, comment, all that kind of good stuff. Peace.